Okay, so we had a problem to solve for, which was we have lots of plants going in various stages of growth. And we're coming to the end of the season here. It's September 1st. So, what do we do if we have all this stuff outside and it starts to get really cold? So, we needed an inexpensive modular solution to be able to move stuff in and outdoors. So, what we came up with was, basically just went to Lowe's and bought a couple 8-foot 1 by 10 pieces of wood and created these basically shelves. And you see on the top here, we put dowels in the same spot, 2 inches in on each side, and basically you can pop these on and off and move them around pretty easily. So the idea is we can move them around the yard as we need to, try to get enough sunlight on the plants, lash them to a post or secure them maybe, by attaching a stake to the base of them, whatever's required to get these out in the sunlight. But once it gets cold, these are going to move inside into our basement with some grow lights. I have an office in the basement, which will have a lot of plants down there, so these should be able to pretty, squeeze into, any spot I need to. I could do rows of these or whatever. So that's the idea. And then we figure, we have these basically dollar store cup-sized, little plants germinating here. They're going to sit in these cupcake tins that I got from the dollar store and painted just so they wouldn't rust as quick as they normally do, with some leftover paint that I had in the garage. So got some gold ones here and some black down here. Just trying to make do with all the stuff we got. And then what we're going to do now is get this all set up. So the nice thing about these cupcake tins is that they have holes on either side, and I have these leftover screws from doing a drop ceiling in my very first house like 20 years ago. So what do I do with these? Well, I figured these would make the perfect way to anchor these in case the wind gets blowing. So what we'll do is we'll put one of these little anchors in here for each one of these tins, and that should hold this in place. Now that doesn't mean that the styrofoam cup here won't just blow away, but if you look at this space here, I'll back up a little bit. This is under our deck. It gets, it's partially sun, it's partial sun, so should get enough light to keep everything moving along. But the nice thing about it is it creates kind of a nook for when the wind gets blowing back here. So hopefully it won't knock everything over, but if it does, so it goes, living in Kansas. But anyway, I'll take another picture or video when this is done. So just a side note here is we have about 100 jalapeno pepper plants that we're nursing to health here and trying to keep them alive. So really was just experimenting and didn't expect to have that many, and it just got a little out of hand. So I don't know how it's going to turn out in the end. So we'll just keep documenting this as we go. Certainly would have did this earlier in the season, but anyway, try and just find a low-cost, inexpensive solution to keep these plants growing, and maybe in the end we'll get some jalapeno poppers or something out of the deal. So thanks.